Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE presented a special tribute show, recognizing the career of Chris Benoit. However, now some 26 hours later, the facts of this horrific tragedy are now apparent. Therefore, other than my comments, there will be no mention of Mr. Benoit's name tonight. On the contrary, tonight's show will be dedicated to everyone who has been affected by this terrible incident. This evening marks the first step of the healing process. Tonight, WWE performers will do what they do better than anyone else in the world. Entertain you.
So I'm guessing we're supposed to sit here and we're supposed to chat about the Super Bowl and the Royal Rumble and all this other stuff that's happened over the past few days. The problem I have is that I'm just not really feeling it. And maybe it has something to do with the fact of what happened over the weekend. See, most people who haven't been paying much attention obviously didn't get the memo that TLC was on a mission to basically get former professional wrestler Chris Benoit into the Hall of Fame. Mainly because the guy deserves it. The guy busted his ass, he broke bones, he broke his neck, he's had multiple surgeries. That should be enough to sit here and get him into the biggest show on turf. At least that's what the assumption is. Unfortunately, due to his shortcomings, Chris Benoit had opted to go a different route. Because of that, Chris Benoit will never be in the Hall of Fame. Because of that, Chris Benoit will not even be acknowledged as a member of World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, those who've been under a rock for the last 7-8 years obviously don't have no idea what I'm talking about. Chris Benoit was the man who basically killed his wife and his son before killing himself in his suburban home in suburban Atlanta. This also happened the night that Chris Benoit was supposed to be at a pay-per-view facing current WWE champion CM Punk. Now, Punk, Morrison, Triple H, John Cena, Kurt Angle, all the superstars basically have had history with Chris Benoit, either are not speaking or have been told not to even talk about it. Everybody remembers, of course, the big giant 2-hour tribute that WWE dished out to Chris Benoit prior to finding out about the actual circumstances involving the deaths of Chris, his Nancy, and their son. Now, here's the issue I'm having here. The day after they found out about what really happened in that home in Atlanta, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon decides to take it upon himself to turn around and say that we're just going to move on from it and forget this tragic event ever happens. So in other words, he basically wasted 2 hours of everybody's time showing old clips of Chris Benoit, including him becoming one of those selective few that have won the Royal Rumble at number 1. But on top of that, also preventing to show Chris Benoit as a holder of any championship that is currently associated with World Wrestling Entertainment, and that includes the championships he's won in WCW. My issue? Why? Okay, I get it. The guy killed his family. I can understand that. I personally do not condone killing your family. I don't condone it whatsoever. But what I also don't condone is a bunch of hypocritical jackasses who would still pay homage to a man who drank, who did drugs, who also did basically performance enhancers, but yet was put into the Hall of Fame shortly after his passing in Minnesota. And you all know who I'm talking about, so I won't even drop names on that one. Plus, let's look at it from another angle. Are we punishing Chris Benoit the person or Chris Benoit the wrestler? Chris Benoit the wrestler did plenty of things for this business. How is it okay for WWE basically not to even acknowledge that Chris Benoit existed, but yet use one of his own signature moves, not one, but at least 2, in their games, all the way including WWE 2012, and I'm talking about the Crippler Crossface. Call it what you want. Call it whatever name you want to, but everybody who basically has known this move, knows it's been associated with only one person and one person only, and that is Chris Benoit. I am so damn sick of hearing about Vince McMahon and his billions of dollars and how much he's going to have that and an arsenal of lawyers raining upon me, as well as my own flipping webcast for sitting here and even acknowledging that not only did Chris Benoit wrestle for WWE, but Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble #1. He quite possibly beat Rey Mysterio's time of 62 minutes, and he also wrestled at WrestleMania 20 and became World Heavyweight Champion in the process. So unfortunately for WWE, I don't follow their protocols. I don't follow their rules. I don't follow their beliefs, and I don't follow their BS. No, I'm not even sugarcoating this anymore. I'm not going to follow your bullshit, Vince McMahon. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is beyond your scripted garbage that you regurgitate week in and week out. This is bigger than Little Jimmy. This is bigger than Rise Above the Hate. It's kind of funny how you have John Cena coming around sporting that god-awful shirt, but yet you yourself can't even rise above hate. You condone a war that supposedly freed thousands and thousands of people who most of them probably didn't have anything to do with what actually happened on September 11th. But yet, you chastise those of us who sit here and actually, refuse to follow your own stupid effing propaganda. On top of all that, let's look at it from another bigger angle. How are you going to basically be okay with Sopapilla basically passing, which is basically the law that says that us doing what we do, basically being on the internet, getting ourselves out there, doing music videos, doing shows, anything that basically involves us trying to make a name for ourselves, we'd go to prison for. How can you be okay with that, but yet you're not okay with us basically sitting here using stuff? Us not using that, but basically the idea is that we throw at you, you use. So does that mean you guys should be going to prison too? Does that mean John Cena should watch his backside and don't drop the soap in the near future? It's just a theory I'm having. Now, my biggest issue, and it's the one that probably gets me the most about it, is that WWE actually sat here requested that I do not mention anything about Chris Benoit ever again following over the weekend's Royal Rumble, which, congratulations, Sheamus, you did earn that. But WWE decided that I wasn't supposed to sit here and actually say anything about Chris Benoit or the Royal Rumble or the fact that Chris Benoit actually was in a WWE ring, for that matter. Unfortunately, WWE, you have your rules and I have mine. And there are thousands of millions and hundreds of people out there that basically are feeling the same way I am. They just can't speak up because of the fact that they're still the ones going to the shows. They're still the ones that basically sit here and pay the tickets. They're the ones who basically probably considered sitting here having signs that says put Benoit in the hall. But unfortunately, he probably had him confiscated by jerk-offs and jackasses like you and the jackass security guards to basically sit here and confiscate the signs because they might be offensive and hurtful to the superstars. Who cares? They're supposed to be entertaining us. We don't care about their feelings. If they actually gave a damn about our feelings, half of them wouldn't even be wrestling right now. Like The Miz or, I don't know, Drew McIntyre, or even for that fact, if they cared about our feelings, then Michael Cole would never speak again. That's how it is. In fact, let's be honest. The person that basically is handling the typing around Little Jimmy of the WWE Universe, his ass wouldn't even be sitting here be at least a quarter of entertaining if it wasn't for us. Speaking our minds is what got us here. Speaking our minds is what's going to keep us going. So with that being said, I put the challenge out to every WWE fan, every member of the WWE Universe out there. If they have any kind of footage whatsoever of Chris Benoit in that Royal Rumble, of Chris Benoit even participating, anything whatsoever that verifies that Chris Benoit did make history, right along with the likes of Shawn Michaels and several other #1 picks, I decided that it was up to them. So somebody did answer that challenge, and somebody did find a video, and somebody found something that basically proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Chris Benoit not only was the first entrant in that Royal Rumble, but also that he won the damn thing. 2004 WWE Royal Rumble, the one spot, if you Google Royal Rumble and go to Wikipedia, that 2004 slot is blank. It doesn't even exist. In fact, the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 20, the triple threat between Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, supposedly never happened. Orlando Jordan tapping out in record time to lose the United States Championship Never happened. JBL facing Chris Benoit? Never happened. Chris Benoit being drafted to ECW? Never happened. All of this involving Benoit, including the very match that sat here and made CM Punk and John Morrison stars and broke them from their usual tag team or silent partner BS into mainstream superstars. In all fairness, you should be thanking Benoit for actually dying at the most opportune time, because they cashed in on it and they're still cashing in on it. So, since WWE says that I can't show this footage, I am going to show it anyway. So, hope you guys are paying attention. 2004 Royal Rumble is down to the final 3. Kurt Angle, Big Show, and Chris Benoit. And if you don't believe me, go to Kurt Angle's Twitter page, go to Big Show's Facebook page, ask them yourselves. Is it true? 2004 WWE Royal Rumble also happened to be the exact same year, probably most likely the last year that Brock Lesnar actually was in a WWE ring before he made the jump from the WWE to the NFL to the UFC. Bear that one in mind. In fact, why don't you go ask Brock Lesnar yourself? So, I'm going to keep this short. Actually, short is overrated. Let's get right down to it. This is the Royal Rumble. This was basically 8 years ago, and this did flippin' damn happen. If you don't like it, WWE, come to the Rockies and come see me. Because bottom line, as long as the fans are asking for it, I'm going to keep delivering. I'm not going to hide behind a bunch of lawyers. And if you want to bring a lawyer, you want to send me to Washington to basically answer to charges of defamation of character, hey, guess what? You jackasses started this war the minute you refused to even acknowledge that Chris Benoit even wrestled and made you guys tons of bloody flipping money. So the way I see it, you can suck it. Oh, is that gimmick infringement too? Your defamation of character has just begun. It's time to move past what the person did and remember what the wrestler did for you. Vince, Paul, Steph, your move.
truth has set me free.
back again. Side